Megan Hicks of I Run Far. I'm with Matt Daniels. It's a couple days after his win of the 2021 Smith Rock Ascent 50K. Hey, Matt, how are you?
Hey Megan, I'm good. How are you?
Good. We're talking to each other across the state of Colorado. You're in like East Central, and I'm in Southwest Colorado.
Yeah, over here in Monument. Wife and I just moved down from Boulder about a year ago now. So yeah, we're up a little higher in elevation and a little bit more secluded from big population. And yeah, just really enjoying it out here.
Awesome. And you are just back from Oregon where you ran Smith Rock Ascent on Saturday. Congratulations on your win and your really fast time on that course.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I always enjoy going out to Oregon and racing, and yeah, Smith Rock definitely didn't disappoint this year.
Man, talk about being at a race where I mean some races have happened during the pandemic. You've done a few, but just I don't know, talk for a second about that feeling of being at a race where yeah, there's competition and we can like see each other again kind of and
Yeah, it was great. I think what made this one truly special was most everybody at the start line was vaccinated and kind of you could just tell spirits were high and everybody was excited that there's a little bit of normalcy. There's still a lot of protocols still in place with masks at start line, aid station, and wave starts and that sort of thing. But it just felt a little bit more normal again, and
mm,
you could tell. I think just the overall mood at the race was there's a lot of buzzing going on, it was fun. We got to interact with more people this time. And one of my favorite things about going to races, and a lot of the reason I go to some of these smaller races sometimes, is I love to just interact with people. And if I have athletes that I coach running, I can hang out with them before the race and after the race. And that was really fun getting to do that out at Smith Rock this weekend. And yeah, it was great. We had nice weather and a little on the warm side, which was good for me for Western. And I also got to convince my wife to go out there and do her first real trail race. And
oh wow.
yeah, we just had a good time. It was awesome.
What was it like transitioning back from just like this really long period of training to actually trying to sharpen up and race well and build towards, a goal of running Western States in a couple months? Like, give us a little context right now.
Yeah, it was probably a little different for me, especially than it would be in times past. I had a little bit of I had a few health issues all winter and early spring, and then on top of that, I got injured really bad, probably around March, and had to take about 3 weeks solid off. And so this has been a really condensed build for Western, and even though it's been a condensed build, I was still like kind of chomping at the bit to get going and racing again and kind of get in a little bit of a harder effort. And yeah, so training's been really up and down. It hasn't been like this just really big, long, extended period of time of just putting in the miles and vert. It's
Okay.
been more I've been doing these like short blocks, just trying to stay healthy and that sort of thing. And then I got to the point to where the injury was so bad, I just finally had to take that time off. And I think looking back now, it was a blessing in disguise, because I was just pushing training way too much over the winter and fall. And I think having that 3 weeks off really kind of reset me. And the last 2 or 3 weeks of training have been some of the best of my entire life. And so really looking forward to going into Western now and all to come this summer.
That's really cool to think about, like these, hidden blessings that yeah, injury sucks, but maybe having a forced longer rest after such an extended, like deep block of training is actually a good thing.
Yeah, definitely. I think so. And I see it all the time too. Coaching athletes, it's you get a lot out of consistency, but sometimes the body just needs that like full, I don't know what you call, like maybe cellular reconstruction, where you just take that time and really just kind of regroup, and the body kind of I guess rebuilds, and yeah, and then you get back at it and you have these like little mini breakthroughs. And I kind of feel like that's where I'm at. Hopefully it comes to fruition in 5.5 weeks, but we'll see.
That's fun. Talk about another reason to like have the anticipation be building towards Western States now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think yeah, it's there's a lot of things going into Western this year. We had the whole year off with the pandemic, and then I'm excited to get back into running healthy again. It's been months since I've put in miles where I felt, probably really realistically, since Western 2019. Ever since then, I've just kind of been back and forth battling these like little injuries, or maybe overdoing it in training, and just getting a bit greedy with things, and I'm finally at a spot now where it's just like, all right, like this is about where I want to be. I'm excited to go race again. Nothing's hurting, so yeah, it's gonna be a fun day.
It's kind of it's fun for a person like me to think about the potential of a person like you at this race. So two years ago, it was your debut 100 miler. You ran 15:20 on a warm day with like stacked competition. I think it was like all top 10 got in under
Yeah,
16 hours. Like it was a crazy day. And you're going back with bib M4. I mean, almost all those people are going back. And then there's more. I can only anticipate that 2021 is going to be like 2019 Western States squared or something.
yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be wild for sure. I'm expecting, I mean, usually we see this all the time, right? With like races like UTMB and even Western States in the past, where you just get a start line with just so many different names on it, and there's a possibility that there's 20 guys on the start line that could, if they have a good day, they could win, or well, Jim's in the race, they could be second or whatever. But
Yeah.
usually it ends up being carnage, like, and sometimes a straight disappointment. I think, I hope it ends up being where we have a lot of guys up front and it's a fun show for everybody and we have a good time racing and everybody PRs. But, I also have to think, man, sometimes when you have races like this, you have guys that get excited and go out fast and guys will go with them. And, there's just so many different angles of what could go wrong. It'll be interesting to kind of see. And I think it's going to be a really important year to kind of play things smart. I'm expecting it to be a lot warmer than 2019. It was warm in 2019, but still pretty good weather. We had a lot of cloud coverage. I think, expect the worst at Western. If it's hot, it can be a crazy different day. So yeah, I'm going into it with the outlook of, just be patient, but also trust your fitness and don't be afraid to race and put your nose in it, I guess.
I mean, I kind of have to ask a guy who goes and runs 15:20 on their first attempt at Western States. What are you hungry to do next? What do you think your potential is there? Give us a hot day, give us you race pretty smart among crazy racing. How does it go for you?
Yeah, I think, well, that's a tough question.
I love putting you on the spot though.
Yeah, no, I think, if I had a good day and everything went right, and well, nothing ever fully goes right in 100. If I have a good day, I really think like I could compete for the win. There's a lot of really good guys. I know that. Jim is always in incredible shape. This is his home course. Jared is, I mean, for whatever reason, always the most overlooked runner in the history of American distance running, and he's going to be there again. You got Hayden Hawks, you got Tim Tolson. I mean, the list goes on and on, right? And I think, if I play my cards right and I run smart and don't go out too hard, and kind of how I feel like I ran in 2019, where the first 50K was really nice and controlled, and then I kind of just did what I do through the canyons and started moving up. If I have a day like that and maybe spend a little less time at the aid stations, I could definitely go under 15. And who knows? We'll see.
No sitting around and eating ice cream sandwiches and popsicles and stuff this time.
Yeah. I mean, that's nice, and it definitely helps when you're feeling down in the dumps. But I think I got to be a little bit more professional this go around, and and not spend whatever 15 minutes at Forest Hill and get going. So.
I love it. I noticed on Ultra Sign Up, you're signed up for the Western States training camp. Are you going out there in a couple weekends?
Yeah, I'll be out there. I went out there 2 years ago. It was my first time on the course, and I had a ball. It was such a good time. I think there's a couple other Nike athletes and other athletes that are coached by David Roach, my coach as well, and we're all going to stay together at Airbnb and just have a good time and get some good training in. And it's we're looking forward to it. We didn't know, until probably about a week ago if we were all going to go or not, but now we're all vaccinated and feel pretty comfortable about it and excited to go rip on the trails for a weekend.
Right on. I think it's like, is it 5.5 weeks or 6.5 weeks till?
Well, gosh, what is it?
Is it a little over a month, something like that?
A little over a month. Yeah, I'm getting it all mixed up now because last time I think I even looked at the countdown, it was like 7 weeks, and I can't even remember when that was. So
Okay, it's a little over a month, but
yeah.
is it a month and a half? I'm not sure. Anyway, you have a couple weeks to train hard and then a couple weeks to taper down. Give us a look at maybe what a week of training is going to look like in the next month
Yeah,
or so.
so definitely. It's been a little bit more of a condensed block for me, just because of the injury and everything. We're kind of taking a few more risks than I normally would going into it. So instead
Mhm.
of doing like a 2.5, 3 month long block of a lot more mileage and vert, I'm kind of condensing it into basically what's been like probably 8 weeks with 4 pretty big weeks in the middle. So since I just got done racing, this week's kind of just to build back up. The mileage is up there. I'll be over 100 again this week. But I think over the next few weeks, the intensity is building a little bit. Still keeping the mileage up. Obviously, at the training camp, we'll have that big 3-day block, which will be good. And then focusing a little bit on vert and just getting the quads and the legs used to the pounding and the downhill. And so yeah, probably looking at something between 100 to 130 miles a week for the next few weeks. And yeah, and then anything from probably 15 to 20,000 feet of vert. Not as much as what Jim and those guys do out in the canyon, but it works for me. And then I'll taper down probably 2.5 weeks out and start to kind of get the legs fresh and get ready. So
Right on. Are you going to use the building heat of Colorado Spring as your heat training, or is there gonna be any specific heat training in there too?
yeah, not this year in Colorado, that's for sure. It's been cold.
I know, we're waiting for it, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah. This actually, it's funny because just this last weekend out at Smith Rock, it was the first time I had run anything over like 55 degrees in months, and so it was like a huge shock to the system. But yeah, I have a sauna here at the house. I'm going to start utilizing with some treadmill hikes, and getting in some good power hiking and vert, and then going straight into the sauna and that sort of thing. And then yeah, hopefully it'll be warm out at the training camp weekend. So that'll probably be about all the heat training I do between that and the sauna. But that's another thing I have to be careful with doing too much heat training. I tend to just fry myself, and I'd rather be fresh on the start line than like fully heat acclimated. But I think I'll be okay.
No fried egg conditions.
Yeah, not at
It's
all.
pretty awesome. You have a sauna at home though.
Yeah, I bought one after we moved here, and figured it was like the first investment I made when we moved into the home. I was like, I gotta have a sauna for training because it's so cold here. So
Amazing. Well, congratulations on your win last weekend at Smith Rock Ascent. Talking to you has gotten me pretty excited about the month of June. And I know you probably want a couple weeks to train, but I'd like time to pass and for us to get to race day.
I would too.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.